We got it, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Dualsense Edge. And I have been missing paddles like a stranded kayaker. And we got them now. I'm Tricky P. This is my review of the Dualsense Edge and unboxing. I haven't unboxed it yet. That's part of the fun. Let's go! Alright, everybody, let's unbox this thing. Standard packaging, as you can see, Dualsense Edge. Perfect your gameplay on the back. It talks about the cool, ultra customizable controls, mappable back buttons, wireless controller features built in, and replaceable stick modules. Okay. Pretty cool. Ooh, shit. Wrapped up in all white. Pretty sweet so far. Ew. Oh, that's disgusting. That's so sick. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And here's the very clicky. Wow, much clickier than expected. Huge fan of this. Oh my goodness, feels much more ergonomic in the hand than the regular. I don't know what it is, I think it's a little bit thicker maybe on the bottom. A little thicker on the bottom, you know? Oh, but just a beautiful piece of video game machinery there. Alright, so now that this beautiful cat is out of its beautiful bag, we can go ahead and jump into what's actually included with the controller and the customization options you have in terms of, you know, analog sticks and different things. So, obviously it comes with triggers. It also comes with two smaller back buttons. These are smaller clickable back buttons you can use instead of triggers. I have not tried them out yet. I'm used to triggers personally. As you can see there, I have my triggers very easy to install. Let me say, very easy to install. Just pop it out, pop it in, so I can easily switch to the buttons, which I will try here soon. I've had scuffs in the past, so I'm just used to the trigger. That's what I'm going with for now. It's going to come with 4 different sticks, right? 2 rounded concave, 2 rounded kind of flatter convex, 1 short and 1 long of each. So I have already swapped mine out. If you can see, my right stick, my aiming stick, is long and it's concave, right? So I can move it a little quicker. And the left one is a shorter stick, also concave, because that's just what I prefer. So again, the process of switching out these analog sticks, just like switching out the triggers for the buttons, it's so easy. It's literally just a matter of, you know, hold the controller steadily, pull them right off, they pop right off. You can mix and match, you can experiment. So 2 big quality of life features, because it's one thing, you know, to have the buttons and the gadgets and the gizmos, but if you can't easily switch them out, what's the point, right? What's the point? So, as you can see, the controller itself, beautiful controller, 2 little additional buttons there. Those are the FN buttons, right? So those FN buttons are what we're going to use to pull up our existing controller profiles, to access the settings menu for the controller itself, which it's very sleek. I will show a demo of that here very soon once we get over the hardware. The front plate of the controller itself is also able to be popped off, and that is a very easy process. You use the release button and you just pop it right off. And so in the event that one of your sticks goes completely faulty, you can order another stick as opposed to a whole other controller. It's much cheaper, obviously. You can just pop this release valve out, lower the release lever, and you can take the stick right out, put a new one in there, which huge, right? Because if every time your controller failed and it's just a single stick messing up, if you had to buy another $200 controller, yes, it would be fiscally a good decision by PlayStation to make you do that, but that's not very fair. And so this is a very respectful decision for the consumer. Quality of life feature, again, this controller is chock full of them. Here's the inside of the box. Very cool little carrying box, carrying case, a little space up here for the wire. So yeah, I mean, really, really impressive design in terms of delivery, in terms of just overall aesthetic. Quality of life features are here. It feels great. But if you have seen the new Oppenheimer movie, however, if you have seen the new Oppenheimer movie, you know that theory is only so valuable. So we can only talk about this controller for so long before we actually can practically test it out. And so, of course, you guys know I got to dive into some gameplay and report back on that. And one thing I want to say before we dive into the gameplay, though, the one feature I have not discussed, I was going to wait for the gameplay, but I want to just precursor this right now, is on the back there. This is a feature I did not know that this controller had. You see how one's low, one's high? That's going to be the click distance on your triggers, right? And so as you can see here, I was playing Remnant 2, a game where you're shooting a lot, trust me. So I changed the click distance to the shortest possible distance. Incredible. And it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. So if I went back and played a different game and wanted a normal click distance on right stick, if I was playing 2K, for example, and wanted to be able to gauge my turbo, then yeah, perfect. I just flip that switch and we're good to go. So let's go. It's time for some gameplay. We're going to try this controller out firsthand. Like I just mentioned, the first game that I got to try out with the Dualsense Edge ended up being a perfect one. Remnant 2, the Souls-like shooter game that just came out last week. It's basically like Destiny and Dark Souls had a baby, and it was a perfect choice for me to try out this controller. The paddles came in handy as I was dodging and ducking and weaving away from this crazy boss you see here. The right trigger having the lower release time, right? We showed that before the break. That was incredible because I could shoot so much quicker than I would have if I had to go all the way down. So having that function was great. Having the paddle function was great. Obviously having the taller concave right stick was fantastic for aiming quickly, which like you have to do in this game. So all in all, again, a perfect first game for me to use this controller with. I feel like I got to try out every single piece of it. The whole Pro controller was coming together right, and it was a fantastic experience. I genuinely felt like I was playing a different game than from what I was playing earlier this week with a normal PlayStation 5 controller. That's how much of a difference this makes. The trigger's fantastic. Again, being able to shoot quickly, especially in a shooting game like this when you're pulling the pistol out and just one-shotting, having that adjustability and the fact that it can happen so fast. So if I want to go play Final Fantasy again, I can turn this off and it won't be a nuisance. It's not a huge thing I have to do to adjust, right? So in terms of using this controller to play a game on PC like this, it was absolutely fantastic. Step 2 now, we're going to go and look at this on a different game, Final Fantasy 16, and check out the really cool menus and support that PlayStation has launched on the PS5 for this controller specifically. It's very sleek, so you're going to want to check it out. Be sure to stick around. All right, here we are now on the PlayStation 5. As you can see, I am playing Final Fantasy 16, which ended up being a very good game for these as well. With the new added aerial combat, the precision dodges, I really, really enjoyed it. Anyway, what I want to start though is a really cool feature that, I expected a little bit of, but ended up getting a lot more of. Like I said, when you press these buttons right there, the FN buttons, they're unique to these controllers. You will see this menu right here. And as you can see, I already have a profile created. 0 or circle is my profile trick, but if I hit the start button now, I can go to the custom profiles menu, which allows me to actively rename, copy, move these, go back to my default profile and create more as well. If I want to, I can click on trick, my profile, and look at the level of customization here. Customize button options, obviously we can do that, right? We can change the paddles around, we can move anything we want, but we can also do the sticks themselves. It's going to show you everything. Right stick, left stick, right. See, look at that. And then you can change the sensitivity curve quick with very thorough descriptions of each as well. Precise, minimum input is registered, so it's just quick. So I really haven't get instant input reaction for your fighting and action game. So it even recommends, hey, here's the application for these, ideal for when you need to move smoothly in action games. Fans of shooting games may find the ability to aim slowly and accurately helpful. Bang, look at that. That's crazy. You can customize everything. You can adjust the dead zone. So if I don't want to get anything going, I can barely, right? Like, it's insane. It is insane what you can do. Trigger dead zone, it's going to show you how far you can click. It's going to show you, you can adjust those as well. Vibration, trigger effect, intensity, and it's all saveable to one of these 4 profiles that you can actively just switch to and from. So smoothly, so smoothly. Let's go to the controller itself, controller settings, right? Like, and even like I said, you know, like I said, there's all kinds of features in this that I did not expect. Reset it, take the tour. Let's take the tour. Yes, look at this, beautiful. Beautiful menu, and this is what welcomes you when you plug the controller in. So just really cool amount of support. Wants me to hit the FN button just to show I know where they are. Look at that, held it down. And there we go, there's that awesome menu we can switch quickly to. Change the brightness. I want to keep those nice and bright. Function menu is the one that we're opening. Custom profiles, receive feedback. What is that? Right, and so it's crazy how much support they built for this. And obviously, you know, it's a $200 controller. It's a pretty big investment. But I feel like they've done their due diligence and they've really exceeded my expectations in terms of, you know, the way the PlayStation 5 console has inherited this new awesome addition to the PlayStation hardware family. It's really incredible. So I showed most of my gameplay off in Remnant. I want to talk a little bit about Final Fantasy now. It's cool because, like I said, we can also do the quick swaps, which I'll show right now. If I want to go to my default, bang, I changed it. Bang, I changed it. So I want to switch games, and I have a totally different control scheme that I've saved with all of those different features as well, right? The aiming and the dead zones and the sensitivity options. I'm playing COD now, bang, this X, money, I'm right there. I have what I need. So I'm really impressed by this controller, if you cannot already tell. I don't think I'm gonna show any Final Fantasy combat because I think Remnant was enough, but let me just say that it's helpful in this game again with the precision dodges, with the jumps. But that being said, I feel like my opinion of this controller is very clear. I feel like we've done a thorough analysis of it. We've tested it out too. It's ready to wrap this up and give my conclusion on the Dualsense Edge. If it hasn't been made abundantly clear during me just sitting here ranting and lauding this controller over the course of this video, I'm a huge fan. I love this thing. I think it was well worth the money. And speaking of the money, that's basically the only takeaway or, you know, detractor I can say about this controller is that $200 is steep. I was hesitant at first to spend $200. It's the only reason I've waited so long to get this controller. But now, having used it, having explored it with you right now in this video, I can say confidently that if there were ever a controller worth $200, it would be this one. So that's the question, right? If you're willing to shell out that kind of money for gaming hardware, this is it. This is worth it. This is worth it. If you think, oh, $200, that's crazy, by all means, you can still have an excellent experience with a normal controller. If you decide you want to go crazy, get some paddles and customization, you can't find anything better than this. Ultimately, my score for this controller, the Dualsense Edge, is a 9.3. This is an excellent controller. It is an excellent hardware addition to the Sony family. Welcome, welcome. I'm Tricky P. If you enjoyed this review, if you enjoyed my gaming content, toss me a like. Be sure to sub to the channel so you don't miss anything moving forward. I appreciate it. Say goodbye to me and my brand new sleek controller. Are you getting one? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much. Peace.